All right, 2 minutes here. Just a reminder, if you're new, you don't have to be not moving. You can be slightly moving if that feels a little bit more natural for you. Maybe moving the neck or the head. But whatever you're doing, stillness or movement, finding some breath, full inhalations with a big puffy up stomach and exhalations. Although you might look still, maybe you're thinking about lengthening, opening. And just being really aware that we've made the choice to come into the session today to get ahead of our day before everything starts flickering around us. So I want to congratulate you for that decision making. Just one more moment here for us. We've got full body mobility today to look forward to. Maybe the eyes are closed down. If you're beginning to get fidgety, your thoughts are wandering back to the breath. There. Or again, light movement. Excellent. Let's take 2 last big breaths mindfully to bring this place to a close naturally. We're going to be working on some deep squats today, along with some openers for spine. So thinking back and hips. Lovely. Let's come on to our side now. Reach the hands. We're going to push the hips back to heels. Shoulders, just depending how long you've got them out. Almost like you're doing a child's pose. Recognizing. One more time, and then we're going to change direction. Just starting off soft. And we will come into places today where you can more space, increase your range of movement. But here it's just about warming and rising. I'm going to keep exactly where they are. I'm going to pull back, so light twist, and our bow and arrow, just waking up the shoulders as you go through that light pull in the back of the shoulders. The opposite arm is bending as I reach and lengthen, looking over that elbow. 2 more on this side. Now pull back. And then change sides. Squeezing elbow behind you. And just lengthening so the pinky, the outer edge of your arm, is gliding along the floor. You might feel that stretch in the chest. I love it. 2 more. Noticing any clicks. And then coming up to tabletop. I'm going to take my knees a little bit wider here. And then pick my heels up. Go for you, this kind of frog pose position. Bring a max, double it up under your knees, or you can just leave your toes where they were. From here, I'm going to reach elbow to floor, and then up and open. You might not come all the way. An awkward one, quite a stiff one for most people. Whatever is good for you. Find your maximum range, and maybe you can increase that from there. Let's see, starting soft, choosing where you want to start focusing on increasing range of movement. Now we're going to change sides. I'm just going to show you a different angle here so you can get the gist of it. Elbow to floor. Maybe it's coming all the way under. Maybe it's not. And 3, 2 to go. Oh, I'm sweating already, actually. I don't know if it's because the sun's coming out today. Perfect. Now staying in your frog position, we're going to move just back and forward. Thinking about the adductors here. Moving through some deep squats. Good to get a couple of openers in first, just let my hips know what's coming. Otherwise, when you're down there for a while, it can get a little bit much. You know what I'm talking about. Frog pose isn't intense enough on its own. Now, bringing the palms together, bringing your knees in. I'm going to go for some down dog pedals, or as I like to call it, walking the dog. I'm going to take my dog for a walk. That can be really, really good if your heels are a little bit tight, ankles are a little bit tight, calves, before we go into the deep squat. You don't want that to be the thing limiting you. Pushing back and up. Here, walking the dog. Push. Come back. Push. Come back. And you're in the comfort of your own home here. This is a joy. So close your eyes. You can block out everything else around you. Getting a nice ankle stretch in here. Maybe it's the hips you're feeling. Coming down into tabletop. Bringing one foot forward. And we're going to work more specifically now. This is when you realize you actually haven't. We're going to work more specifically on the ankles. So half kneeling, reach for that back of the ankle and pushing forwards. A little bit extra prep for them, as I say, in your squats. We're down there for a wee while today, and it can be quite frustrating when you can't get the heel down. So giving them a little bit of prep. Ground your ankle, push the knee forward, give it a shimmy side to side, and then come back. These are your ankle gliders. Amazing for your squats if you notice that your heels are tight and you have a tendency to lean forwards. That can sometimes really interfere with your technique. Lovely. One more time. It's 8 presses. And then we're going to change sides. So bring your weight onto the opposite foot. You might want to tuck the back leg behind you, reaching for the ankle, and again, pressing that knee forward. If you have some weight there, you can actually grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell and you can use it to try to get even more range. Brilliant. It's not the most exciting mobility move, but I promise you it is worth it. Really big overall impact. Nice, we got one more. Wakey, wakey ankles, time to go. Brilliant. Now, just to make sure that our back is in a nice state, as I say, there's plenty of demand in a deep squat for the mid back especially. We're going to go through a couple of spinal waves. You'll even get a little bit extra ankle stretch in there and hips before we go into this deep squat sequence. Bring your hips to the back over feet. You're going to push out the toes, lift your body up, roll forward, and lifting everything, taking it in reverse. So a bit like a down dog to up dog, but it's exaggerated. Using it to create a massive movement. Excellent. Visualization is really important. Really helpful as well. Lovely. One more time. And push up, lift. Excellent. If you find that's a bit aggressive on the wrists, feel free to give them a bit of a release here. Oh, I've got my thermal on and everything. I see everyone reaching for the water now. Okay, time to get into those deep squats I've been harping on about. So your deep squat, you might have feet hip width, you might have them a bit wider. I would say the kind of tighter you are, the more inclined you're going to be to having a wider stance. If you've got really good ankle mobility, narrow is going to be fine. You're going to need a deeper turnout, a bigger turnout for tight hips and ankles than you will if you've got pretty good mobility. You can have them fairly straightforward. So if you can do a pistol squat, you'd be fine here, but if not, you definitely want them a little bit wider with toes out. Calming down, bringing your hips down now. Lovely. We've got about 3 or 4 different movements we're going to look at down here. I know, let's start with the simplest. Let's rock side to side with our ankles, like we've just done. Trying to press the knee further out over the mid-toe while keeping tension, contact with the heel on the floor. Now, if you're not quite there, that's fine. Just focus on one at a time. Let the other lift. Maybe you've got your heels on a block. Excellent. Okay, if you need to now, coming up, we're going to change it up. We're going to go back down. Yeah, everyone comes up. Let's come on down to the floor. Lovely. Okay, from here, I'm going to bring my elbow inside. And then I'm going to reach up and open. And come back and change. I'm wedging my elbow on the inside of my knee. I'm using it to push that knee out, the bent arm, and reaching up. Some people might be able to get the elbow to the floor. I'm not quite there yet myself, but if you think you can, go for it. Try. Aim high. Lovely. Now you should feel that in the lower back area, around the QL, maybe the obliques. It's a bit of a side bend here. At any point, come up, give your legs a little shake it off, come back down. And find the breath. Inhale, reach. We've got one more on each side. Good, lengthen up nice and tall. And last one. All right, I'm going to come up and shake off a little bit. It can get quite intense on the quads. The more familiar you get with your deep squat in that position, the less it is going to feel like it's your thighs that are doing the work, though. Just rest assured that does happen. So coming on back down. Yeah, we've got 2 to go. Okay, let's work on our internal rotation. I'm going to bring one knee, try and keep my torso forward. I'm going to drop the knee to the center line of my body, and I'm going to imagine folding it out again. Fold the other one in. Hold it out. Excellent. So I'm learning how to command that movement with the hips, how to navigate that internal rotation. And my body is learning how to differentiate between when the hip's folding and when it's coming out. That's really helpful for squats, even for running, so your body understands Actually, we want those knees out. We don't really want them to collapse in. Teaching them how to pull from the center line. For safer running, safer walking, even hiking. Although I suspect as soon as the pubs open, people won't be quite so outdoorsy as they are these days. Suddenly everyone's really into nature. You just wait. As soon as Three Sisters is open back up again, we'll see how much people love the Pentlands then. Get one more each side. And you know I'm going to be there too. Let's come up. Perfect. All right, so a little bit of internal rotation. Now let's think of external. Take a breath. When we come on back down, we're going to look for our deep ape to open ape. I'll show you a little bit side on so you can get the gist of the angle here of my chest and my torso. I'm trying to keep upright. I'm reaching. I'm going to bind my hands for this variation. Pull the hands. Draw length into my back body. And then as I inhale, lift the heels, open knees, and open chest. Good, relax the shoulders away from the ears. That might mean a bend in the elbow. And then you're going to dive back, reaching, pulling through the hands. Oh, good back stretch. Lifting and opening the other way. Beautiful. And reaching, diving. Lifting and opening. Awesome. Now, it wouldn't be mobility class without some 90-90 variations. So after this, we've got 3 more reps. We're going to shake it off. We're going to come down to the floor and find a nice variation we've not done for a while, actually. Whoop. Watch your balance, head up. Inhale, open chest, and one more time. And I really feel that in the shoulders, but you might be different. All right, a little bit of a rest. Maybe you're standing up to shake it off, or you're just going to take a little minute on the floor to catch your breath. We've not done this one for a while. It's a really nice combination that I quite like with 90-90. If your hips are tighter, let's bring the ankles in closer. Mine definitely are. There's no need to be that guy. Take it bit by bit. If you've not got full range today, you might eventually by the end do this. From this movement here, from the sit, I'm going to bring my hand on the same side as my front leg. So I've got left leg forward. I'm going to take my left hand to the outside of my hip, fingertips away, crease of the elbow forward with the arm straight and locked. I'm going to lift, take a breath, reach with the right arm, drive my hips through and forward, and do a little bit of a spiral if that feels okay on the back. So start by just reaching up first of all. If that feels fine, you can reach behind you, maybe look behind you. Spiral back round, come down. Let's stay on the same side today. So either just reaching and then coming back down, or reaching with a twist behind you. That's going to be a bit of a deeper opener. If you're going for that twist, bring your hand a little bit closer into your body and you'll get a deeper back bend. Warming up the low back, really good if you do have low back pain. A little bit of conditioning for that. I'm going to go 2 more here. And as I say, ankles in. To make it easier, ankles further away to make that hip extension a little bit harder. And let's change sides. Oh, what's this side up to? That's what you should be asking. What's going on here? Lovely. Hand beside hip. I ask that question quite a lot during the day. Reaching and coming down. Reaching. It's amazing. You really do have to keep on top of this work. As quite a mobile person, as someone with hypermobility, I've learned that you can't be complacent. You know, over the last couple of years, I've been like, well, I'm super bendy, so it's fine. I don't need to work on my mobility that much, but you do. You definitely do. A lesson there, isn't there? You can never be complacent with what we've got, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Got 2 more. Excellent. Okay, coming back to that first side and looking at our hovers or our forward folds in the 90-90 position, torso square on. Now we do ideally want to have ankles in line with knees here because we're not looking to lift up. It shouldn't be quite as tough as it is with extending the hips to flex and lean forward. So with arms either out at the sides, hands forward, either way, torso is tall, leaning in, coming back. We're just going to do 5 on each side. Breathe. Relax. Exhale to come over. You can find more range now. As I said in the beginning, we were just about some blood flow, oxygen, some circulation to the joints, and now we're a little bit further. We can start to push the range that we had in the beginning. We want more. We want more. Really like that. Good. That's 5. Let's change sides. All right. Second side. What are you up to? Definitely tighter. Okay. Here we go. Be patient with yourself. If you're in the tightest side like me, it's still worthy. It's still deserving. Stress it out. It's not going to get you anywhere. 2 more. The struggle is real. Lovely. And if you have been doing lots of walking and running, this is an excellent one as well. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come on down to the floor now and look at some chest openers to finish up with. We're going to go with bent arms first and then lengthened arms. So bent arms is going to look like a cactus shape. That's what I've started calling it. I think one of my clients, Kate, calls it that in yoga. So I'm just going to steal her yoga terminology. So cactus arms, hand slides down to shoulder, and then you're going to create pressure through the hand. We should all know this one. We've done this one loads. I'm going to look over that bent elbow there. If this isn't comfortable on your back, you got a couple of choices. You can roll into the thigh on the outside, or you can bring the knee up. That's my preference. Bring the knee right up to the elbow, so it's almost like a climber. Now looking out over that shoulder, the most important thing here is that you're not letting that bottom shoulder drop into the floor. Peel it up and away from the ground. It shouldn't make contact with the floor. Breathing, push through that bent hand, the elbow. And relaxing down, and let's change sides. Opposite elbow to the floor, either bringing the knee up or rolling onto the side of the thigh, and then looking out and over. And again, breathing into the chest, trying to imagine the length from the elbow to collarbone. I love doing chest openers before a day at my desk if I've got lots of admin and while I'm doing lots of remote sessions, and I would recommend it for you too, because we do tend to kind of rest forward. You have this forward round and shoulder, and coming back down. Lovely. Okay, now with lengthened arms, so same thing, elbows and hands in the same line as shoulders. Then I'm going to pull one arm in, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, slightly different angle here. And if you want to, you can kick the tail over, bent leg on the opposite side as the same side as the bent arm, or a little bit of a twist there. If that's not comfortable or your hips are cramping, bring the leg back, go for that climber position with the knee on the floor, or just legs stacked. Good, and breathing. We're going to take 2 more rounds of breath here. Exhale to lengthen, and 1 more. Good, exhale, deepen the stretch. Coming back. Oh, it feels so good. Let's change sides. So good, but also so bad. Good, second side. Long arm. Pressure through the hand. Looking up and over. Do what you want with that leg. Is that scorpion tail perhaps? Might get a little back click there as I just have. And breathing into that chest. And relaxing down. Perfect. Okay, guys, so now staying on the floor, maybe lying on your back or coming to rise with me for a seated position, just rounding up where we started. I'm going to go cross leg. Maybe you've got straight legs or wide leg, as you prefer, for 2 minutes. If you've got to dart off to work, that's totally fine, but I would recommend that you find another way just to catch your breath and clear your head before you sit down to crack on with the day. Here we go. Two minutes of quiet, quite rare. Good. If the head wanders, remember, there's plenty of time to think about everything else later. It can wait. Excellent. 2 breaths to go. Fill your body up. Soak in every inch of that breath in and out. Lovely. Thank you everyone for your time this morning. I'm going to pop this up just now, so it should be on the playlist if you'd like to repeat the session later, if this was a good one for you. Have an awesome day, and I'll hopefully see most of you on Wednesday for the next class.